Hello there, people of the internet. I'm out here at the gun range. I'm actually shooting at a steel silhouette that's about, rough estimations, 50 yards away or so, but it's about like this big and this tall approximately, not very big at all. And I got about 50% accuracy on that little steel silhouette, and it's like half covered with just garbage and debris that we have out here on this public gun range. But me trying to shoot at that thing, it's kind of teaching me a lesson that I've already learned a long time ago. One of the things that I've learned in my time of doing this YouTube channel is that I am not nearly as accurate as I originally thought myself to be. There are certain rifles out there where I'm able to be quite accurate and I can make really good shots under the right sort of circumstances in the right sort of situation. But in a real life context, I am just not nearly as accurate as previously anticipated. Like whenever I first started this YouTube channel, I knew I wasn't that accurate, but I thought I was more accurate than I am. And now after just years and years and years of practice with a lot of my different military surplus rifles, I'm definitely more accurate than I was, but I'm not nearly as accurate as I originally thought that I was. I have met a lot of people in the firearms community with me doing this YouTube channel, and I've had a lot of people tell me that they are accurate to this amount at this distance, and there's been several times where I've been like, okay, I want you to prove it, and then I will actually take them out to ranges. I've brought I don't know how many people out to that gun range that has the car on it, and like basically just for range days and whatnot. If I had to make a bet, I'd say 25 to 30 people. But I'll bring these people out who are talking about how accurate they are, and that is a 100-yard range. And they'll tell me, like, you know, they got sub-MOA accuracy from a bench-rested position, or even actually had one guy who said sub-MOA accuracy from offhand position. I was like, okay, that I gotta see. But I bring people out there, and I have them do 5-shot groups, and they are way less accurate than they originally anticipated themselves to be. Some people are quite accurate, and some people are able to hold up to that standard of accuracy that they claim themselves to be, but not very many. But as these people are shooting out at these, I don't want to say long distance, because 100 yards really is not that long of a distance, but as these people are shooting out at this rather extended distance, and they're realizing they're not all that accurate at that distance, especially with something like a 5-shot group. Like if you go doing 3-shot group, that is easier to get your standard of accuracy on, but once you bump up to like a 5-shot group, getting that tremendous amount of accuracy that you're claiming is quite difficult. And there's a lot of people out there who don't even get anywhere close to that level of accuracy. Like I said, there's definitely some people that are, but if you think that you are stupid, ridiculously accurate with your abilities as a shooter, then my recommendation is, rather than go off of like numbers or something like that you read off of a chart, or you see somebody else do some stupid accurate shooting with a rifle. Like I actually watched with my own eyes. I was over in North Florida somewhere. I think it was Brantford County. Anyway, I was over in North Florida, and we had a 600-yard range. Some guy brought out a 6.5 Creedmoor, no idea what rifle it was, but it did not look like a standard hunting rifle. It was a bolt-action rifle, very highly customized, and he had hand-loaded ammo. He got a 2-inch group at 600 yards, and there's no way in hell I would ever be able to do that. I just don't have the skills as a shooter. That is someone who knows his rifle, knows his ammunition. Both the rifle and the ammunition, the consistency of your ammunition, matter with the accuracy that you're going to get. So if you're preaching about getting really good accuracy, but you go out and you get like cheap steel case ammo or some surplus. I'm actually out here with some 7.62 by 54 rim, cheap steel case stuff. and you're expecting to get the level of accuracy that you got whenever you fired this other guy's $5,000 rifle with his hand-loaded match-grade ammunition. You're just not going to get it. Your ammo matters, and your rifle matters. Your bullet types matter as well. Like if you're just going with a standard full metal jacket, cheapo, flat base, non-match grade bullet, just minor inconsistencies with the casting and jacketing and whatnot of that bullet could lead to inaccuracies downrange, even if it is just an inch or two off. That's a significant drop in accuracy compared to what a lot of people are telling me that they can do. Actually, I had one guy, he left me a comment and he told me that he could get his I think it was an Anderson AR-15 to have quarter MOA accuracy at 100 yards, and that is something that I would absolutely love to see. If you're watching this video, dude, make a video of that, put it up on YouTube. I want to see that. I want to see that quarter MOA accuracy at that 100-yard mark with that Anderson. That would be beautiful. Talk about a talking point in the firearms community. But anyway, of course, your budget ARs out there, they got plenty of them that can be plenty accurate as long as you're using the right appropriate ammunition for that. But my point is, I was severely humbled with my accuracy capabilities, especially with a handgun, since I started making this YouTube channel. And I've had a lot of people come out to the gun range with me. They're like, oh God, yeah, you got a gun range. I would love to go out and shoot with you. Okay, come on, let's go out and shoot. And especially here, I mean, this is a public gun range. If you're watching this, you could literally come out here at any point in time. This isn't my property. This is a public area. So you could come out here and shoot anytime you want. But whenever I am with someone who is claiming intense accuracy, a lot of times they are also humbled with their capabilities. And it's not just their capabilities, it's the capabilities of the ammo and the rifle as well. But likely, if you are under the assumption that you are an incredible shot, like I'm willing to bet that you're probably thinking you're more accurate than you actually are. One of the good things that makes a really good shooter is they have to know their own limitations. I know my own limitations. I got bad eyesight. I shake, especially after my stroke. I'm not gonna have very good target capabilities, especially at any real distance. As a matter of fact, I'd say like 100 yards is probably my cutoff with offhand shooting. Maybe 300 yards would be my cutoff if I was like bench rested shooting. If I had an optic, if I had iron sights, 100 yards, like that is my cutoff period. If we're talking about accurate fire on a target. So I don't really hunt out past those distances, and I don't really have to because we have jungles all over the place here, and you're not going to be taking a shot beyond 100 yards. So for me, my inability with accuracy doesn't affect me much just because of my area. But there's plenty of people out there who are quite accurate. If you're watching this and you're quite accurate, you know you're quite accurate, thumbs up, hats off to you, you know, go for it. But if you don't have the experience with long range shooting, like if you get, oh, I don't know, a 2-inch group at 100 yards, try going out to farther distances, because that doesn't equate to a 4-inch group at 200 yards. Oftentimes that group size will open up as your skills as a shooter just kind of begin to show. I mean, whenever I'm offhand shooting, especially with this surplus ammo where I don't know if I'm getting duds or hang fires, you guys will see me flinch. I'll pull the trigger and I'll go like this. And I mean, at the distances I'm shooting at, that's fine. Definitely something I'm working on. Duds and hang fires definitely show your flinching because it's just a really good way to show whether or not you're flinching, and a good way to get around flinching. But I've had some people claim some pretty extreme accuracy capabilities in my time in the firearms community, and I've had very few people actually be able to back up those accuracy claims. So yeah, pay attention to what you're doing and pay attention to your actual level of accuracy. If you're a sub MOA shooter but you're only shooting at 100 yards, that doesn't mean you're going to be a sub MOA shooter once you go out to 500 or 600 yards. Now that being said, like I said, your rifle and your ammo, those absolutely matter. I got this Mosin here with cheap steel case ammunition inside of it, 7.62 by 54 rimmed. The triggers on these Mosins absolutely suck. This is a stock trigger. So, yeah, this is not a very accurate rifle. There are people out there who can shoot these real accurate. I am not one of them. Oh, goodness. Hey, I still hit my steel at this 50-yard mark. But the people that can shoot these accurate, like sub-MOA levels of accuracy, those aren't people that are shooting this cheap steel case stuff, which actually just pressure stuck my Mosin. Let me knock this open real quick. Bam, get rid of that. These right here, these cheap steel case rounds, these tend to be like a minimum of 3 MOA accuracy. That is the best accuracy I've ever gotten out of them, but normally they're more like 5 MOA. All right, yeah, see, I missed that shot right there. God, this thing just is, this the concussive blast that comes out of this is nuts. Versus something like this right here. This is a sporterized custom BRNO Mauser in 8mm. The trigger on this is about 2 pounds. I have an aperture sight on the rear versus the Mauser's standard front or forward of the receiver leaf sight. So I can aim this and shoot this much more effectively than I can that Mosin. Now, granted, I just have, this is Turkish surplus 155 grain ammunition, so it's not very accurate ammunition, but if I had like a match grade, you know, new production ammo in this thing, then this would be quite the rifle to have. Yeah, see, I nailed that steel target, no problem, especially with this trigger and this sight. Aha! Hey, my steel target's still standing up. Hell yeah, I don't have to walk out there to reset it. It survived 3 shots from full power rifle cartridges, which is awesome. Your rifle matters, your ammo matters, your skills as a shooter matter. You want to pay attention to all of these aspects whenever you are making claims of accuracy. And of course, a 3-shot group is a lot easier to do than a 5-shot group. So if your standard of accuracy is a 3-shot group, maybe try a 5-shot group and see how good you actually are. All right, that's my 2 cents on the subject. I wanted to go ahead and talk about it just because it's one of those things that pops up pretty constantly on the YouTube channel. You're not as accurate as you think you are, not unless you are thoroughly experienced with your rifle and your effectiveness as a shooter. That being said, even if you're sitting out on a gun range like I am, shooting at a stationary target, once you get into the woods and you don't have an identified target to shoot at, like let's say you're out hunting and you have something that's moving or potentially even running through the woods and foliage and whatnot, suddenly your accuracy is going to be quite significantly diminished. Or even, let's put it in a, like, hell, let's say, let's compare like a World War II sort of situation. Soldiers back then, even though they didn't have quite proper appropriate camouflage, you're not shooting at stationary, standing still targets most of the time. Like, a lot of the times you'd be dealing with somebody who was prone or in a foxhole or in a trench or hiding in the foliage somewhere. Just your accuracy diminishes as your lack of ability to identify target diminishes. And in a real life sort of practical context situation setup, I don't know what that sentence was. In a real life situation, insert your choice of practical experience here, your standard of accuracy is going to be much less than that of a stationary gun range. So get out to that stationary gun range, see what your accuracy is, and then go out and actually do something in the field. Go for a hunting trip somewhere that kind of puts you out of your comfort zone, and then figure out what your standard of accuracy actually is. Figure out whether or not you're actually hitting your target. Figure out what your limitations are. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below is a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.